Mendelssohn Volume 1. Highlight from Chapter 5. Der Freischütz. Berlin was bustling with music in June of 1821. The most popular figure in German opera, Karl Maria von Weber, was to premiere his latest work, Der Freischütz. Felix knew he had to attend, as he adored Weber's compositions. The Dresden Kapellmeister had a decent career, being in his mid-30s. He played piano with high regard, had skill at the guitar, and conducted his operas. Originally from Uetten, a town then in the district of Prince Bishorik of Lübeck, Karl was born in 1786. As a young boy, he didn't learn to walk until the age of 4, due to a hip deformity, but by then he was already a gifted musician. He happened to be a cousin of Constanze Weber, the wife of the late Mozart. It was what sparked the idea for Karl's father, Franz Anton Weber, to teach him music at an early age, hoping for a Wunderkind, a child prodigy. The efforts resulted in Karl becoming a decent young singer and pianist, with a good career ahead of him. A few instructors were hired here and there, but the Weber family frequently moved. In a stop in Munich, Karl studied the art of lithography, a form of printing from a flat surface treated with oil and water, from the inventor of the process himself, Alois Seinefelder. His family later moved to Salzburg, where one of his instructors was Michael Haydn, the younger brother of Joseph Haydn. Yet life in Salzburg took a bad turn, as Karl's mother and young sister succumbed to tuberculosis in 1798. In the same year, Karl traveled to Vienna in an attempt to get lessons from Joseph Haydn, but to no avail. All in all, he had a well-rounded musical education. On the 18th of June, 1821, when the time struck 7 in the evening, Karl Maria limped to the conductor's desk in the orchestra pit of the Berlin Opera House. The majority of the audience were veterans from the Battle of Waterloo, as it was an anniversary. Karl nodded at the crowd, acknowledging them, then turned to the orchestra, picking up his conducting stick, or rather, the new and revolutionary baton. He then, with deep movement, gestured for the musicians to start. Der Freischütz, based on a tale by Johann Appel, was the story of a hunter that obtained magic bullets from Samuel, the devil in disguise, to hit whatever he wished in order to win a shooting contest for the woman he loved. Weber did the opera justice by the fresh music he composed, using diminished seventh chords to depict the character of Samuel. Weber's own excitement showed by his artistic and dramatic conducting. The growing chords made by the strings gave a cold chill through the dark green trees in the German Black Forest. When the curtains opened, the essence of foggy twilight was depicted by the intricate stage scenery. Painted backdrops contained hidden details, such as wild stags and wolves. The stage became a whole world of its own, within the opera house, the instruments setting the scene in the minds of the listeners. The intensity of the sizzling strings forced their attention. If anyone did doze, the crash of the climax would wake them. It had such high energy, like that of a person's heart ramping. The music had a heroic sense. With heroic music, Beethoven usually came to mind with his grand motifs, a prime example being his Third Symphony, originally dedicated to Napoleon, that is, until the French leader crowned himself emperor, causing Beethoven to fiercely scratch his name out. In Weber's heroic touch, the hero is rather on his horse in the midst of battle, racing to victory. Along with the gallop, the exciting blares of the hunting horns cheered him on. Such a layer gave Karl's music a noticeable timbre, crisp as biting into an apple. Felix sat in an upper box taking in the spark of the clarinet, his little legs dangling in a swing from the tall seat. His friends and family were beside him, including Dr. Kasper, the 28-year-old composer Bernhard Klein, also the two poets, Heinrich Heine and E.T.A. Hoffmann. Bernhard Klein crossed his arms in irritation at fidgeting Felix. He purposely muttered to Abraham, who was sitting on the other side of Felix. "Can't the child stop dangling his feet? Felix, calm down bitte." Abraham quietly made Felix sit still. Felix turned his big eyes up to Klein in a glare. Klein returned the gesture with a dirty expression, but they both turned their attention back to the opera. The premiere was a great success for Weber. After the dramatic and exciting end, the whole house exploded into applause. Weber turned and gave a smile, along with a sigh of relief. As the audience went to disperse for the evening, Weber shook hands with the orchestra members, thanking them